Welcome back. Now, Minister, let's move on to militancy and kidnappings, as this is an issue that seems to be returning to the region. What are your plans in relation to curtailing the activities of militants?
The issue of militancy is a very critical one for the region, because on a daily basis you find people declaring themselves militants. Unfortunately, we have tended to give credence to dishonorable conduct as factors of recognition. And so people are no longer ashamed to identify with vices of human conduct. Well, under the amnesty program, which is directly under the presidency, the best is being done to keep the program to achieve its mandate. However, by reason of cross-border institutional collaboration, we are all sitting together, addressing each problem that emanates from the Niger Delta with relevant stakeholders, exchanging views, and then initiating actions together. For now, I think the mere fact that the program had been extended beyond its initial program period of December last year should suggest to anybody that the government's goodwill and determination to attend to the region is sincere. But an exit program is being worked out as much as possible to guarantee a no return to that situation any longer.
Before we look at the issue of kidnappings, let's just focus again on militants and touching again on the issue of the amnesty program. That was in place to rehabilitate ex-militants. Are you looking for an increase in the number of militants that are actually going to be rehabilitated?
By reason of rational considerations, by me and in my position, I should not be expecting more, but unfortunately we are having them more and more. It would appear that anybody unemployed in the region now declares himself a militant as a way of either getting stipends or getting attention to gain from one thing or another. But we have no alternative than to look at such cases. And when we do, and the people are genuinely and creditably engaged, it still reduces the issues of unemployment in the region. And we do hope that this government consideration will pay off in a manner that people will no longer return to such base, activities.
Now, touching on the issue of kidnappings, this is on the increase in the region and across Nigeria generally. Very, very worrying issue. What are the challenges in addressing this?
The greater challenge that I see than just the kidnapping activity itself is the fact that we do not seem as a society to have entrenched orientation to suggest that a little crime has an impact in the nationhood, thereby affecting the social and economic systems. If only we had that orientation by which information can be exchanged and communities take adequate actions in terms of relaying what they know, who they know, and giving information adequately, to be good enough. Some of the times, of course, those who should make use of the information to stem these vices are compromised. And so, to some extent, you may not blame the Nigerians who fail to offer information because they get back to betray. We find that area in our system. For what obvious reasons, we do not understand. And so, it is a greater challenge to see we do not have tracking systems to follow up crime investigation. And when efforts are made to engender the devices, we deliberately frustrate as a society. But I hope our orientation will change.
Can I just ask you, what's your view on the policy as to whether you negotiate with kidnappers to release victims or not?
I would take that derivative from this administration's position on the issues of the Northeast. Ordinarily, we do not expect a well-instituted, organized, legitimate system to negotiate with crime perpetrators. We shouldn't expect that. It is wrong. But when there are stakes that suggest the dimension and intensity or capacity of what happened in the Northeast about the Chibok girls, those lives are very important. In such exceptional cases, we would be ready to negotiate because the lives of those children, for instance, are very important. So the scope and circumstance will determine whether such an approach will be endorsed or not. But I think it is only fair for us to know there are legal and legitimate systems to address every action of man, right or wrong.
Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Usani, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We got an email from John Ube, who wrote from Kano State, and it says, FGM is a form of violence against women, and I think the National Assembly and policymakers should make FGM illegal in Nigeria as a whole, as it is in countries like the UK. I also think more advocacy is needed in the villages because they bear the brunt of this violence. Also, girl-child education is paramount in curtailing this evil done to women. Government should also provide incentives to the people to encourage them to report such abuses. Thank you so much, John, for that email. And by the way, FGM means female genital mutilation. For all those who have been following us on our Twitter handle, we say thank you. And also for the emails. Please do keep the views and comments coming using the address and Twitter handle on your screen. You can also let us know anything happening within your area, especially if you are in the nation's capital. Don't forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. You may make your comments after viewing the videos. Always remember to include your name and where you're writing us from. I am Omelogo Nnadi. See you next week.